Hello, we're Carol and Ken and we normally do campervan travel videos. In this episode though, we're just going to show you what it's like to use the new ferry crossing between Eemshaven and Kristiansand in Norway. We chose this route to avoid the long drive between Eemshaven and Hirtshals. We're going to show you how to get there, checking in, the deck layout, the restaurants, shopping, entertainment, and of course boarding and leaving the ferry. The video will be divided into chapters if you want to jump ahead. Getting to the port is easy enough, and when you arrive you'll probably come up to this large roundabout with this tower. Basically you've got to skirt around the industrial area in order to reach the ferry, so just turn left here. It's all very well signposted, so you should have no problem at all finding the terminal.
Yes.
Yeah. You follow here the lane to the end, right? You see the car. There's the incheck.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Spreekt u Nederlands?
English.
Okay, can I see the passport, please? And I will print out the tickets for you.
Yep, thank you.
So you're on the 8th deck,
Yep.
and in room 107.
Yep.
And these are also the keys for the room.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Jullie nemen de auto mee.
Sorry, English.
Oh, English. You go with the car to Kristiansand. Yes.
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 Then you can drive in line 10 weer.
Number
10.
10.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Yes,
Yes,
have a
good.
nice trip.
Thank
you.
you.
I have to say we were really impressed with all of the staff that greeted us and all of the staff on the ferry. There's a very small ferry terminal here which serves snacks and coffee. The toilets are also in here if you're caught short. And there's a lovely little place to sit in the sun and get a view of the ship. So I just asked one of the customs guys here when they start loading the ferry, and he says approximately 1 o'clock. This gave us plenty of time to have a little snack in our camper van whilst we waited to board. This crossing is expensive. It's costing us £566 one way. It would be cheaper with a return, but we don't know which way we're going to come back.
He said go between the flags and then straight to the ship. So I suppose you just follow the... Oh yeah, straight on the ship.
It's a pretty easy ramp to get onto this one. We were one of the first vehicles onto the ferry, and as you can imagine we were just directed to go all the way down to the back, and we were parked up next to the huge doors that we'd be using when we left it.
We will make another announcement once you can proceed to your cabin.
These are the decks on the ship. Deck 10 is reserved for the crew. Deck 9 has cabins, a conference room, sauna, and you can also go outside for fresh air. Deck 8 is more cabins, and that's the level that we're on. Deck 7 is eating and entertainment. Deck 6 is shopping and coffee. 5 is more cabins, and 3 and 4 are car decks. We just got on board and it's very, very quiet at the moment. Hardly anyone here.
We're waiting for our cabin to be ready, so we thought we'd come and relax in the cafe with a cup of coffee.
How much were these?
These are Americanos and they're €4.50 each.
They've just announced that we can now go to our cabins. I'll have the right hand side.
So we've got reading lights by the bed.
Windows a bit grubby. Not a lot they can do about that, of course. So we've got the shower, toilet, and the mirror. Then we've got our coats, jumpers, and warm hats.
Hats in the pockets of the coat.
Yeah, and then in a short while we'll walk the emergency route. On the back of the door are the instructions for your emergency station, so we always walk that before we leave. Well, there's plenty of people here, all with the same idea. The weather is calm and warm, so we found a cosy spot and just stayed here until we set sail. Time for a tour around the ship, I think. This is reception, where we tried to book a table. More on that later.
It's an advert for what they're selling in the shops, really.
Now, if you've been watching us for a while, you'll know my belly rules my head. So a top priority for me is to work out where we're going to eat tonight. This is one of the small cafes on board. I like the way they show you samples of the food so you can see what you're going to get. This is the Grande Buffet, and this is the most popular place on the ship, and it was absolutely heaving very soon after leaving port. We fancied eating here, the grill house, but sadly that was not to be. This is the menu prices as of the 1st of September 2022. Just pause the video if you want to study it. We just tried to book a table in the restaurant for tonight, and the earliest time they had a table was 8 o'clock. So we don't want to eat that late, do we? So we'll go to the buffet tonight and see what that's like.
These are nice.
So how much are they?
84.90 euros.
84. All right. They got a really good shop, but booze really features heavily, and there would be no chance getting one of these crates in the camper. You like picking them up, but you never buy them. If you fancy a bit of cheese, there's lots here. I was really impressed with the shopping on board. They seem to have anything you could want.
About 20 euros.
Karen likes picking things up and saying not bad for whatever price it might be. Up on deck 9 you can go outside. They've got a bar up there, although it wasn't open. Well, it's certainly windy.
It's not cold though, is it?
No. Lovely in the sun. If you go around the other side of the ship, it's quite cold there. By the time we reached the buffet, things had begun to quieten down. Earlier on, the queues were halfway down the ship. So how much was it?
So it's 39 euros 50 per person.
All right, okay.
It's including everything.
Yeah.
And there's wine and beer on tap as well.
Brilliant. The chunky fish is mackerel, and it was absolutely delicious. We thought the food was really good and worth the money, seeing we're on a ferry. What have you got?
I think it's like an apple crumble, some sort of strawberry mousse and a chocolate eclair.
Carol loves her puddings, but they're not for me. It's quite a noisy place to eat, but by the time we got in there were plenty of spare tables to be had. But beware, it's pretty cosy if you don't like sitting next to other people. Oh, and by the way, I lied about having a dessert. I had the bread and butter pudding. During the evening you can relax in one of the bars or catch a show in the theatre. These are the drinks prices on boards, so just pause the video if you want to study them. We've got a big day tomorrow, so just before sunset we went back up on deck to see the sun go down. Tomorrow morning we'll be arriving in Kristiansand. We opted for an early night and slept peacefully in our cabin whilst the ferry made its way to Norway. I like their little squeegee for the floor. Yeah. We had a peaceful night on the boat. We've been absolutely lucky with this crossing because it's like a mill pond out there. It's just before 7 AM and we've decided to use one of the cafes for our breakfast. So how much did all this cost?
So we've got, you've got what's in there, ham, baguettes,
Yeah.
a croissant, a banana, a coffee and a latte, 19 euros 50.
Just to let you know, we have some special offers for you this morning. First off, we have a 10% discount on all perfumes in the shop. And for those of you who would like a Summersby blueberry cider, we have a 20% discount in the supermarket.
I think Carol was born to travel. This was a spur-of-the-moment trip to Norway. I'd seen talk in the press that there might be future lockdowns due to COVID, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to wait and see what happens. I'm going to get out there now and get this trip done. Pretty soon we were all called back to the car deck, and it's always good to see that the van was as you left it. The crossing took 18.5 hours, and currently there are 3 sailings a week. Still nice weather.
Beautiful. Couldn't be better, could it?
No. Finding our way out of the port was all very simple. Checks or not? We were not stopped and we didn't have to show our passports.
Left.
Well, that's all we have for you in this video. If you want to see more about our trip, then just click our playlists and you'll be able to see what we got up to whilst we were here, as well as many other adventures we have had in our little camper van. Please give the video a like if this has been useful. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.